Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Awesome Life Podcast. I'm Karen Stultz, your host, and I am here today with an amazing guest. Aren't all my guests amazing? They're fantastic, but this fellow is absolutely over the moon. I can't wait for you to hear his wisdom here. In Awesome Life Podcast, we inspire people, women in particular, but all people who are ready for transition, who are ready to do something more, but they don't know where to go or what to do or what is even possible. And so here we inspire and empower people to live their awesome life, to be the best that they can be. And bottom line, enjoy, have fun doing it. And today I am having the best time with Francois Loupian. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Perfect.
Oh, yay. And Francois and I met quite a long time ago, well, over a year ago now. And we have been in communication. And when he found out I was doing a podcast, and I said, you would be an absolutely awesome guest. Would you consider joining me? And he has so graciously joined me. So let me tell you a little bit about Francois. He is a dynamic coach. He's a speaker. He presents all kinds of experience through I know all of the experiences he has gone through. He has worked with Tony Robbins, Stephen Covey of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he is a consultant with Bob Proctor from The Secret. Bob Proctor, I studied with him years and years ago, and he is absolutely over the moon, amazing. So I love the fact that Francois is there too. In achieving excellence, it's everything that he puts his mind to. And Francois has been a Taekwondo Canadian champion. He's a top real estate agent for 11 years with RE/MAX. He's a serial entrepreneur, that's for sure. And he has multiple successful 6-figure plus businesses. And he applies theory to reality. Francois duplicates his previous year's 12 months income, and he multiplied it in 1 month the following year. He increased his net worth by 150%. And he's dedicated to help himself and helping other entrepreneurs do the same thing. With energetic and passionate and dedicated, Francois can show you how to get the best results. And guess what, guys? Mediocrity is never an option when it comes to Francois. He is absolutely amazing in all that he does. So tell me, Francois, how? Why? How did you start all of this amazing thing and double your salary 150%? Woo!
Actually, first of all, thanks for that great introduction. I'm humble. I'd like to meet this guy. Like, he seems awesome.
He's a pretty amazing guy. I've met him. He's an amazing guy.
Interesting, though, as you say that your niche, the people that you deal with are empowering women. Well, as I'm thinking about the question, well, I got the thing for you. When I was 5 years old, you said one of the things that shaped my life. When I was 5 years old, we had some roller skates. I'm 60. So they're the ones with the 4 wheels, not the line skates, and with the straps and the things. And I was so heartbroken. I couldn't make it happen. And then my mom saw me, and she came down on the street, and she sat on the sidewalk. And she says, "What's the matter?" I says, "It's not happening." She says, "I'll show you." And my mom put on the roller skates, sorry. And she went around the streets like this. And I was, wow. And then she sat down and she put them on my feet, and she looked at me square in the face, says, "You can do anything you want in your life. Just go for it." And I stood up and I started to do it. Of course I fell, and she was encouraging me. So my mom, ladies, are the greatest asset in the world. Never underestimate the power that you have. And so from there, saying that I can do anything, when I was 7 years old, she enrolled me in French, we say diction. We had to learn a poem or a paragraph that was 17, 20 lines. And then I had to say it in front of my peers once a week. So I had to learn like 25 lines and then say it in front of 15 to 25 people. Why I say 15, 25? We started 25 and we ended 15 because a lot of people quit. And I was 7 years old.
Wow.
And I absolutely loved it. And my mom, ladies, was always helping me to, how do you say, learn it. And she would correct me and encourage me. And so I got to like it so much that throughout all my school career, whenever there was projects to be done, I was excited. And if people were worried about this, I'll do it for you because I love speaking. And so long story short from this, I spoke in front of crowds of up to 2,000 people.
Oh,
No
wow.
challenge. And so people says, yeah, but you're good at, you're gifted with it. Excuse me. I started at 7 and I had my mom that was in back of me to encourage me, or someone in back of me to encourage me. So never get discouraged when you don't get it right the first time. Nobody does. Nobody does.
No,
I'm also, you said, as a gold medal down there, I'm a Canadian champion in Taekwondo. And so that did not happen overnight. I had to do a lot of work, 10 years of training consistently to make this happen. Why am I saying this? If we have big goals, they're scary and they're hard to maybe even conceptualize, but step by step, day by day, and having people encourage us, a coach, a fellow worker, anybody that can encourage us step by step, we can make it. There's only one way to fail is if you stop. That's it.
That's it.
We fail our way to success. No one ever start to be an expert at anything. We all start as amateurs. And then through the time that we put and the effort into it and the guidance, that's why if you want to speed things up, you get to have coaches and that helps. You know, being Canadian champion, I had the 9th degree master to help me do that. And so you have to look for the best. How fast you want to go, you decide.
Exactly.
So it's wonderful that we can do so much in our lives, especially when we let others enable us to get better. And if I may say something, when we talked, Karen and I at the beginning, I says, you can ask me any question. And one thing that I like is my ego is checked at the door. Never bring your ego into the situation. If someone says, it's okay, just roll with it. We are all learning. I have this, I usually have a card that says WIP, and I put it on my forehead. It's a card, it says WIP. So what is this? It says work in progress. That's what it does. And so we are all work in progress. So who are we to judge others? Everybody's trying their best. Well, and so let's just accelerate that growth.
I love that. I love that. I love the fact that everybody needs people. And if you're going to improve, you want to find the next person. So like at 7 years old, you had your teacher, you had your mother. If you hadn't had them who had already grown and not, when we stop learning, we stop growing and we die is my theory. So what was it? Thomas Edison said when they said, how did you keep going after 1,000 times of failures? And he looked at them and said, I never failed. I just found 999 ways of not doing it.
Yeah, that didn't work. That's exactly it.
And that is the way it is. So we keep learning. What else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible? And finding, and in each level, you know, somebody who is just beginning may not want $1 million coach, but somebody who is at 800,000 is definitely wanting a multi-million-dollar coach to move them ahead. So it's all relative, isn't it?
Absolutely. Actually, I made a little statistics, and that is mine from over 1,500 interviews. And it goes as follows. If your income is $100,000 or less, you have 0 high-level paying coach. And by high-level paying coach, I mean $7, $10, $15, $20, $50,000 for the coach. So if you're at 100,000 or less, you have 0 of those. And you might have a friend, a coach, Google or YouTube, but that's not it. Or even company provided coaches. That's not what I'm talking about. Now, if you're from 100 to 250, you have 1 high level paying coach. If you're from 250 to 500,000, you have 2 high level paying coaches. And if you're from 500 to $1 million plus, you have 4, 5, and 6 high-level paying coaches. Caveat on this statistics. When you're under 100, you says, when I make the 100, then I'll get a coach. That's not the way it goes. When you're under, you get the coach now to get to the next level. When you're here, you get the second coach to get to the next level. So I have 2 coaches working on my third one. Now you know how much money I make. And
That is fantastic. Now, are those business coaches that you're talking about? Because I know I have 3 coaches myself, but they're for different areas of my life.
Business coaches, mindset coaches, and mindset coaches, but from different areas.
Yeah.
I'm mindset. I am so much, 95% of our success is mindset, and 5% is technical or skill set. And maybe we'll touch on that later on, but this is so paramount.
Yeah, you have to have the right mindset. And that's where,
Absolutely.
you know, being a mindset mentor, that's what we both are. That's why we get along, guys. That's why we're such good friends. We're so much on the same wavelength as far as mindset goes. And it is so important. And clearing the blocks that are keeping you there, and a good mindset coach can help you do that, right?
Yes.
So I love everything that you do, and you bear with me for just 1 second. I'm just trying to get my head together here. If you're watching us on YouTube, this is us. This is the real deal. So tell me, was the roller skating the big story as to what changed your outlook on life, or is there another big story that might have changed the outlook on life?
Thanks for asking.
You were not always in the coaching realm. As when we met, I think you had just I did
it corporately before. I did a lot of it corporately. And so, but the thing that's interesting about your question is that definitely that 7-year-old experience set me up on wanting to express myself a little bit more. As you can tell, I'm a Frenchman. I got that French accent. Even though I went to English university, I'm never getting rid of it. And that's fine. That's okay. And so, but at 18 years old, there's this person invited me to a meeting. And it was an Amway meeting, for those of you that are old enough to remember what those were. So they never told you what it was, and you just got there. But interestingly enough, the man that was on stage, I think he was 5'4". I'm 6'4". He was 5'4", and he was sort of dancing and making circles. The guy was making $60 million a year. Like, I'm 18 years old, I'm still in school, and this guy's making 60 million. I didn't care about the products or this or that. I just wanted to know, how can someone generate that kind of things? And he talked about different things, and coming full circle to what you asked, he said, do you know people that when good things happen to them, they start to say, oh, this won't last. This is not going to be good. Something's going to happen because I'm not deserving. And next thing you know, that good thing is wiped out of their lives. And they said, oh, I knew it wouldn't last. And I go, man, I know someone intimately like this. And he says, do you know that the opposite is absolutely true as well? So now I'm on the edge of my seat and I'm listening. I says, what's this guy talking about? He says, if you decide in your mind that good things are going to start to happen to you, well, then guess what? You're going to start looking for them, seeing them, being aware of them there, and then taking action on them. And then it's going to start to happen to you. The same way that someone can say that bad things going to happen to them, and it does, the same way you can do the opposite. Mic drop. I go, what? And so I'm 60 now. So for the past 42 years, I've spent over $150,000 on books, on tapes, on seminars, on webinars, on all sorts of things to transform my lives, to put a reality into this. Because one of the things that's very important that this older gentleman said at that time was that information can create transformation, but you need to have integration. And that integration is the part that most people miss. That means it's a 4-letter word, WORK. You need to work at it. Success does not attack everybody. It's okay to spend some time. It's okay to burn the midnight oil. And so I'll make some of you laugh. I don't know if I have it here. Oh, I have those old cassettes.
Yeah, yeah,
Actually, they're right here.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I have some sitting right next to me. Yes.
And
I mean,
so,
you and I are, well, you're a lot younger than I am, but yeah, I have tons of those cassettes, and
this
now
to
I'm
say-
trying to figure out how to give them over. But anyway, go ahead.
that's all I'm saying is that information is available, but you need to assimilate it. You need to listen to it again and again, and then apply it, because information without application cannot create transformation. So he sent me on a quest that made me, as you mentioned, I did many things. And one of them, at one point, I was working with Tony Robbins at his franchise in Ottawa. We're doing the Firewalk experience on stage with him, facilitating with thousands of people. That's so exciting. Tony is amazing. And then 13 years with Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And let me tell you, when I started, I didn't know what was going on with Covey. And after 13 years, I could know it like the back of my hand. And so also another life-changing event that happened at Covey is at one point we were going into schools, and when we're going into schools, we had products that were $5 each. My quota was $875,000 was the goal, that at $5 at a time, like that's a lot of work. And then the company decided that we had an office in Eastern Canada and on Western Canada. They shut down the Eastern Canada, and Western Canada was then supplying Eastern Canada. 3 hours difference in time. So when the schools were starting, like it wasn't even open. They wanted service, it wasn't open. Plus, they only spoke English, and half of my schools were French. It was not going very well.
By the way, for our listeners, excuse me for interrupting, but I want our listeners to recognize that you are from Quebec, Canada.
Originally, actually, Ontario, which is right beside Quebec, but I was born and raised in Quebec.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
I
you
went
were
to
born,
Concordia
which is why
University
you
in
have the
Montreal.
French accent and went to French schools. But
yes,
okay, yeah.
Absolutely. And so now what was happening is that we start the year in September and it finishes in June. Come January, end of January, my manager comes to me and he says, "What's the matter with you? You only have $100,000 done, and you're at 875 that you need to do in order to like, this is not happening." I said, "Well, that's not my fault. You close this office and this has happened, and now he goes, no, it's your fault." I go, "What? No, it's not my fault. It's not my fault if you get," and he's just listening to me. He says, "No, take responsibility." I says, "How can I take responsibility?" He says, "The day you realize what I'm telling you is the day you're going to turn your life around." I go, whoa. You're not going to tell me that I can't. He says, "Stop saying I can't." He says, "Take responsibility." So then I told him, "Okay, I'm going to make President's Circle this year." He goes to me, "Yeah, right." And so,
Oh, Premier President's Circle 2000.
President's Circle.
Oh,
That year, I made President's Circle. And what is President's Circle? Is surpassing your goal by $100,000. So I finished in 5 months. So 975. I was on stage. When I was on stage, actually, Stephen Covey was there himself. And the manager says, "I never thought you'd do it." I says, "Yeah, because I took responsibility." Now, this was the hardest thing in my life, because I was saying, man, it's not my fault. And it was always the outside circumstances. They shut the office. They have no provide service. How can I do? Poor me, poor me. And he told me to stop doing it. And I decided to swallow that distasteful spoon.
It's like we always say, we cannot control our circumstances sometimes, but we can always control our response to those circumstances somehow.
Absolutely.
And one of I'm so happy that you're talking about this, because my mantra is, and it took me a while to see, but one of my mantras, and it drives people crazy sometimes, is saying, no matter where you are, it's part of access consciousness, actually, but no matter where you are, things can always get better. So if you're really low, you can say, how can things get better than this? And there is an answer to that. You don't think about, well, I could be doing this. I could be making $1 million. I could be doing that. It's, I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. So even when things are absolutely the best, you know, and like you were saying, you end up saying, how can things get better than this? This is so awesome, fantastic. And yet the response always is, it can't. All right, now you've just shut down. You've shut down the possibilities. So always, how can it get better than this? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out.
And if and when you start, you're not good at anything. So
Oh,
this summer we went to Hawaii.
oh wow, look
I'm
at
60
that. He's
years
on the
old.
surfboard here.
I never surfed in my life. And so I decided that I was going to do it. And did I fall? Absolutely. But did I get up? Absolutely.
Oh, and by the way, come on over to YouTube and check it out, because that surfing picture is amazing. He looks like he's been doing it his whole life.
Well, it's interesting to all these things are more of, and you say this, and then I used to do this as a kid, but now I'm doing it as a 60-year-old guy. I don't know if
Oh
you can
my
see
gosh, this is a motorcycle. He's doing wheelies on a motorcycle.
it's motocross. I race motocross as well. I'm 60 years old. And when I'm on the track, I'm not the last one, I can tell you. But do I fall? Yes. But I keep on going. Why am I saying this? Not to impress you, but to impress upon you that failure is part of success. And you decide to do something and you start to take action. And then you seek experts that can help you. And then you just keep growing and growing. Next thing you know, you're doing things that people are saying, wow, how's he doing this? No. You can do it too. Just pay the price. People, my favorite question is, but how? How am I going to do it?
Yeah,
And
I was just going to ask
answer
you, how do you
is
get unstuck?
actually, the how is the reward of those who paid the price. That's the
Ah,
best answer I can come with. How is the reward of those who paid the price? Meaning, you cannot know how to do something until you bathe yourself into it. You immerse yourself into the situation. Then you will know how. You cannot learn to ride a bike by reading a book or watching YouTube. You can't. You got to get on the bike, and you're going to fall. But no matter how old we are, all on this podcast right now, we can all ride a bike because we did it before. Even if you haven't ridden for 10 years, I can guarantee you can get on the bike and it'd be a little wobbly, and then poof, you got this because you paid the price. That's life. Pay the price and do what you want.
and is that how people would get unstuck? I'm wondering, does someone really need to have that determination? I mean, it's obvious you always were going to be amazing in anything, because you were never going to, this is politically incorrect, play victim. You were going to take responsibility. You were going to go for it. You knew that you had a goal and you were going to go for it. Does everybody need to have that in order to reach where you are?
Actually, interesting enough, since I never played victim. Remember the story I told you? I was playing victim.
Yeah.
I was playing victim. Hey, how can I do this? You shut this office there, and then only this one. I was the victim. Like I said, victim right over my forehead. But what turned it around is says, you need to take responsibility. And in order to do something, the foundation of everything that I teach is we need clarity. What do I mean by that? A person that is unclear about what it is that they want, truly want, is a confused individual, and a confused mind never takes action. Never.
Yeah.
If you're confused, you don't know. But if this is where I want to go, well, start going, walk towards it. Of course you'll fall. Of course you'll stumble, scratch, bust your nose, and whatever else. But you're going towards that direction. I like to say that God cannot steer a parked car. Keep moving. Even if you're going in the wrong direction, he can steer you back in, or a good coach for that matter. But keep moving. It's part of, and the essence of, you say, you need to have a desire inside of you. But clarity creates that desire. That's why I always go back. If you're clear on what you want and you're pondering it, and if for those of you who are not seeing this and hearing it right now, I'm looking to the ceiling. I'm going, hey, what if this? What now? I'm starting to create possibilities. And those images that I'm seeing are creating feelings inside of me. And those feelings are now pushing me to action. So our thoughts, feelings, and actions are really, really related and so important, and it works the other way. What do I mean? I like to always give the example on the other side of the spectrum. Imagine that you're mad at someone, and now you're really not happy. And because you're not happy, you're seeing bad things, and then you're treating that person harshly, and then they treat you harshly again. Guess what? You created that reality. It's you.
Yeah.
Emotion is the accelerator of integration. Beware of the emotion that drives you. Make sure that they're higher emotions: love, service, compassion, forgiving people. And by doing this, you're always raising your vibration. Therefore, you're empowered to do better things. If you have jealousy, envy, anger, well, if for those of you who are seeing me, I'm getting constricted with this. Oh, I hate. And so now you're stopping the flow from going to you. If you're relaxed and loving, any intuition, any inspiration can flow through you. When you're lowering the vibration, getting tense, well, then it's not coming, it's hitting a wall. And so you are depriving yourself, and I am depriving myself of the flow. You know, when we say, hey, you're in the flow, isn't it good to be in the flow? Notice right now, take a moment and picture in your mind any time that you were in the flow in your life. You were relaxed. You were relaxed. Think of any time that things were not going well in your life. You were tense. It's relaxation allows, tense stops it. It stops the flow.
And,
so what
and
I like
that
to teach,
is actually, if you are tense, it isn't, well, of course, I was tense because this was a bad situation. Things weren't going well, so I got tense. No.
well, it's true that it does. And let's admit it, it does. The thing is, we have action reaction. So when something happens, then there's a time lapse of us to take a decision. Am I going to react to this or act? And the longer we decide on this, the more in control we are. So when something comes at us, we can either react to it and whatever happens, or we can say, okay, this is coming for a reason. What can I learn from this? Is this good for me right now? Okay, maybe I don't like this, but what can I learn from this? And now as I'm taking time for it, okay, now I can be relaxed and address it. And when I'm relaxed, I have more of my powers to deal with it, rather than when I'm stressed, I'm limiting my powers. I like to say that people, the hose of abundance is coming their way, and they put their foot on it. And when I say, when you come into my world, I push you off the hose so the abundance can come.
Oh, I love that. I love
you.
that. And Francois, I love the idea that you are always open to the possibilities, always open. I tell my clients there are at least three possibilities for every situation. Some of them are not so good. Maybe all three are not so good, but there's always at least three possibilities. And you can choose what possibilities you want to go for. And I wanted to, I know we've not talked about this before, but when we first met, you told me the story. We met just as COVID was getting us all locked down. We were in a virtual retreat together, and it was unbelievable how you turned COVID around. For me, I loved it because people began to realize that the energy work that I was doing at the time could be done over the internet, could be done over the telephone, and very powerfully and equally wonderful. And you didn't have to get out in the snow or rain or anything to come to an office, but or traffic. But you took that situation. You had a company at the time. Was it a construction company that you owned?
Yes.
And things just went kaplooey for you. Would you consider sharing that, what you did instead to create that income from a construction company that kind of went, uh-oh, COVID, nobody's hiring us, which is what I heard a lot at that time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And let's get a little political on this also. The government in Canada decided to pay people $2,000 a month not to work. And so I had a construction company, and my installers said, I'm staying home. That was interesting. So in French, there's this Félix Leclerc. He was a singer that says the best way to kill a person is to pay him doing nothing. And so enough political on this. We are responsible. We can do things. We're empowered. So now, interesting. When that happens, COVID, plus also my clients were retired people. So older people, more especially when COVID started to hit, more prone to get COVID. Like they were, more fragile for lack of a better term. And so therefore, no communication possible. And then the home shows were like, fini, no more. And so my construction company, I've had it for 10 years, and I work 7, 8 months out of the year, and 4 or 5 months I was not working. And so because of my corporate background, I used to coach friends and other businesses all that time because I've had all that experience that I brought with me. And so then another woman in my life, my wife, we've been married 30 years. She's the love of my, we have 6
Congratulations.
kids. Yeah, thank you. And she said, hey, don't you think it's time to do the coaching full time now? And so from doing it maybe a little more, less than half the year, I went to full time. And then, once again, my yearly income transformed into my monthly income. And this is where one of the things that I want to touch base on. Stephen Covey, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, name them all. Jim Rohn. In the corner there is Bob Proctor. With Bob Proctor, when I took his material, I took my construction company so that in 1 month, I created what used to take me a year. And so all this knowledge that I had throughout all these years just went all together. And that's why now I'm on the mission to teach as many people to do this, that click. People are looking for the missing pieces. And notice I said pieces, because whenever someone tells you that success is a picture and it's this, run. Do not. Success is not a picture. Success is a puzzle. It's got pieces, and no one has all the pieces. Newsflash, you need more people. Why do you think there's billions of us on the earth? Because we need one another. And one of the things that used to hold me back is I decided that I was going to produce myself. So it's going to be buy me, buy me, buy me. And through sheer effort and going at it, I developed. But after a while, you hit a wall. You almost burn out. Well, I don't burn out, but you almost burn out. Most people, they burn out. And so there was this thing of, I'm losing energy here. And so what's the scoop? And so to allow was the next best thing. And with Bob's material, I integrated everything that I know. So it's everybody's teaching on steroids. And by doing that, I easily help my clients double, triple, 10x. And many of them now are making their yearly income, their monthly income. And that's on a continuous basis. And it's empowering me so much that that's where I'm at in my life right now. And in the weekends, I get some, because when my clients work with me, they have my cell phone, they can reach me. I'm reachable. And I get texts and messages saying, you changed my life. Or some people we talk C-type goal that I like unachievable, like what? And then in September, they call me, this is, you know what, the big goal that I had for this year, I doubled it, and it's September. I still got October, November, December to go. Like this is cool. And it's because the mindset, skill set. We need to have the mindset in order to allow, but we also need to have skill set. Don't get me wrong, skill set is important. And one of the things that many people do is that they have a solution to people's problems. They do have genuine, it works. And then they have people that they meet that have a genuine problem that they can fix. So the two should get together, but they don't, because the individual doesn't know how to, and I don't like the word closing. I like the word enrolling. Enroll people into whatever it is that you do. And so that enrollment is not present. So I created the program I got inspired to do. And that program is how to enroll people in your program so that they at the end tell you, I'd like to do this. So forget about the closing. Closing is 1980. Building relationships, finding out what's happening in someone's life, genuinely finding out what's going on.
Being authentic in all that you do is
caring.
imperative. absolutely
Yes.
imperative. It's and that's what I love about you, Francois, because you can hear his passion. He can, and it's not all about how much more money can I make. I mean, he's sharing the income, but he also shares that wealth with a lot of people, and that is what wealth can do for you, is to be able to give you your lifestyle business as well as doing more in the world all the time.
Yes.
And that is what I love about Francois. He knows how to do it, and he can share how to do that with such passion and clarity. And did I understand that how could people get in touch with you? Would they need to sign up with you to?
Before we go there, I'll tell you a little something that to me is very important. As we all know, everybody listening to this, you need to have a niche, you need to have a market, you need to have a hook, you need to have something that people, there's so much advertising and things going through all our lives that we need to have a showstopper, like something that, whoa. And so me, I says, hey, I help you double, triple, 10x your income and make your yearly income become your monthly income. If that don't stop you, well, then just keep going. But what happens with this is my hook. Nevertheless, when you start, because I have proprietary information to find out about you, because I believe that if we do a prescription without an evaluation, that's malpractice. We need to find out what's going on. But for me, paramount is this. You need to be service-driven and heart-centered. And I said, and there's an and, service-driven and heart-centered. And if you're not, I'm all of a sudden too busy, and I'll point you in other directions.
Exactly.
Because there is some purity into what it is that I want. Yes, money is my hook, but money is once you start to come here, money grows on trees. What are you talking about? Well, just
literally
keep on planting seeds. The more seeds you plant, the more trees there'll be, and therefore you'll have. And so it's a concept. And once your mind goes click on this, you never chase money again. Because money is like a little bird. And if the little bird, you try to chase it, it's going away. But if you put the seeds that the bird likes in your hands and you stop moving, it will come. Stop chasing it. Start attracting it by giving value. What I just showed is a metaphor. I'm just about done writing my book. It says, and it's as a man soweth, Mother Nature's lessons for life and business. And it's very cool talking about how nature is teaching us things that when we apply in our lives, let's face it, Mother Nature has been around forever. So the laws and rules that she uses are very powerful, and they don't change with the economy. They don't change with the pandemic. It's always the same. I like to build my life on a solid foundation of things that are not changing, meaning principles rather than strategies.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I love that. And I couldn't agree more. It's so, and I can't wait to read your book. Yeah.
It's on these final revisions there, so it should come out soon. So I'm excited about that as well.
Be sure to let me know. That's super, super, super.
Indeed.
And we are coming to the end of our time together, but I did understand that you have a gift for our listeners, and just for my own benefit, is there a way, you were showing on here the keys for a good conversation? Is there a way to access those keys for a good conversation, or do we hire you as our coach to get those information?
Everything is a decision that you make. If you feel something, that will make it happen. But before we go there, a gift that I have is I have a video series. It's 3 videos. It's $297 free for your group, as no problem. And basically, it's 3 tips to get you unstuck fast. It's got 3 videos linked with it and a 12-page workbook.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why, remember what I said, information to become transformation needs to have integration. So I walk the talk. I give you ways to apply what you're learning so that it becomes yours. And whatever becomes yours that way, no one can ever take it away. So that's my gift to each and every one of you. And to get a hold of me, and if what we talked about resonates, you simply go to howtobecomemore.com. That's howtobecomemore.com. And then you're going to see it says schedule a call. Click on it, schedule a call at your convenience with a Calendly link, and we'll find out what's the clarity, where is it that you want to go, and I will help you uncover hidden challenges that are slowing you down in your way to where you want to go right now, the limitations that might be existing, and I'll give you solutions on how to implement those. Once that's done, you decide. You implement on your own, no problem, or you decide to implement with me faster. Either way is okay. I can guarantee it's going to be the best call, best 30 minutes you ever spent, because it's going to help you to know you better. And my philosophy is that life happens all around us, but it happens through you. And the better the you is, the more of life you can experience and the more people you can impact positively. Leaving everyone with the impression of increase is my motto. I live by it. You come into my world, you'll feel it. I'm sure that you have felt it through this brief interview, which I thank you so much for having, Karen, and making a difference in your group.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Francois. This is great. And all of his resources are down below in the comments, his website and his free gift and how to reach out to him. He is always a pleasure. And I am so grateful to have him, to call him friend. And
likewise, Karen, thank you so much for all you do. Appreciate it.
So be sure to go over to the YouTube channel and see our conversation in real time. And also be sure to like and subscribe to both podcast and the YouTube, so you don't miss any of Awesome Life Success, and make the best success that you can make. And that does require help. We cannot go it alone. Everyone needs a hand. Wherever they are in life, everybody needs a hand. I like talking to my son. He's going to hate me if he ever listens to this. But he said they were coming around. He lives in England, and they were coming around to do COVID tests because that area had a large COVID outbreak. And he has gotten all of his vaccines, as his partner also has, and his son has. But they were coming around doing the COVID tests. And he said, I have no concerns about that whatsoever, because my partner works from home and I am antisocial and I don't hang around people. So it's all good. And I said, well, that's very nice, but we all need people.
We're taking it for the team. COVID is, okay, let's go here. So people, I believe that COVID is a test from above to see if we as humans can come in unity rather than bickering at one another. I believe that's one of the ways to look at it. Are we going to come together on this? Or are we just going to point fingers? Are they doing this? They're doing that. And to me, love always wins. Love always wins.
Yep, that is absolutely it. Love and joy is where we want to be. And if we keep that energy up and make the choice, it's all about the choice to keep that energy up in whatever way we can, and reach out to Francois. He is, as you can hear, absolutely amazing. And I am so grateful you came to us. Until the next time, unless any last words before we sign off, we're all good. I know.
Well, I'll tell you the last words is that, Karen, you're amazing. We can all feel that you speak from the heart, and you're putting these things together in order to help your tribe. And as they grasp the love that you're sending out to them and take action on it, it will transform their lives. And thank you for the difference that you are making.
Thank you. Thank you. Until next time, have a great day and an awesome life. Bye-bye.